This is Romeo and Juliet, Act 1, Scene 5. A hall in Capulet's house. So like a big room where everybody is. Musicians waiting. Enter serving men with napkins. First servant. Where's Potpan? That he helps not take away. He shift a trencher? He scrape a trencher? Second servant. When good manners shall lie all in one or two men's hands, and they unwashed too, 'tis a foul thing. First servant. Away with the joint stools. Remove the court cupboard. Look to the plate. Good thou, save me a piece of marchpane. And as thou lovest me, let the porter let in Susan, Grindstone, and Nell. Antony and Potpan. Second servant. Aye, boy, ready. First servant. You are looked for and called for, asked for and sought for in the great chamber. Second servant. We cannot be here and there too. Cheerly, boys, we brisk a while, and the longer liver take all. So it's really busy and they're trying to get things figured out. And the first servant is like giving instructions about where to go. And he's like, tell the doorman to let Susan, Grindstone, and Nell in because I want to see those girlies. Enter Capulet with Juliet and others of his house, meeting the guests and maskers. Capulet, welcome, gentlemen. Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns will have a bout with you. So he's saying, like, corns are things that people get on their feet that are really painful. So if you've got corns on your feet, you probably wouldn't dance. And he's just making conversation with the people coming in, like, the ladies without the corns on their feet will dance with you. Aha, my mistress, which of you all will now deny to dance? She that makes dainty? She, I'll swear, hath corns. Am I come near ye now? So he's like, if the ladies aren't dancing, they probably got those corns on their feet. I'm going to call you out on it. Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day that I have worn a visor and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play. A hall, give room, and foot it, girls. So he's just making conversation with people that are coming in. He's like, I remember when I was your age and I was courting the ladies too. Come on in and have some fun. Music plays and they dance. More light, you knaves, and turn the tables up, and quench the fire. The room has grown too hot. Ah, sirrah, this unlooked-for sport comes well. Nay, sit, good cousin Capulet, for you and I are past our dancing days. How long is it now since last yourself and I were in a mask? So Capulet is kind of ordering servants around, telling them what to do. Turn the fire down, it's hot in here. Go do this, go do that. And so he's talking with a relative who is approximately his age, and they're calling him Second Capulet. Second Capulet says, "By dear lady, 30 years. Okay, so they haven't been young enough or single enough to do this for 30 years. Capulet, what, man, 'tis not so much, 'tis not so much. 'Tis since the nuptials of Lucentio, come Pentecost as quickly as it will, some 25 years, and then we masked." So Capulet is like, no, it was only 25 years ago. Second Capulet, 'tis more, his son elder, sir, his son is 30. Capulet, will you tell me that? His son was but a ward 2 years ago. So they're just visiting, as my parents would say, and they're reminiscing, and the Capulet's like, no, he was just a kid a couple of years ago. They're just shooting the stuff. Romeo, to a serving man. What lady is that which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight? So Romeo's in there. He's masked. And remember, there was no social media at the time, etc. So people would have had to know that he was a Montague to know that he wasn't supposed to be there. The mask certainly helps his cause. He's not standing near Capulet and the other Capulet. But he's at the party and he sees another girl and he asks somebody, who is that? Servant says, I know not, sir. Romeo, oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. She is so beautiful that she teaches the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night, like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and, touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now? forswear at sight, for ne'er I saw true beauty till this night. So he immediately forgets about Rosalind, and he has seen Juliet. And she is now the most beautiful woman that he's ever seen. Has he ever loved before? He says now he's in love because he's seen Juliet. Tybalt is there. Tybalt knows who Romeo is because they're approximately the same age and they've been in some fights. Tybalt, this by his voice should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. A rapier is like a dagger. What dares the slave come hither, covered with an antic face, to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? Now by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin. So Tybalt sees him. He's not like right next to Romeo. He's standing near Capulet. And he's like, oh, it's Romeo, and I'm going to freaking kill him because he's not supposed to be here. He's a Montague. This is not okay. Capulet says, why, how now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so? So Capulet stops him. He's like, where are you going in such a hurry with that dagger? No. Tybalt, uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night. Capulet, young Romeo, is it? Tybalt, 'tis he, that villain Romeo. Capulet, content thee, gentle coz, let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman. And to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not for the wealth of all the town here in my house do him disparagement. Therefore be patient. Take no note of him. It is my will, the which, if thou respect, show a fair presence and cut off these frowns and ill-beseeming semblance for a feast. So Capulet's like, is that Romeo kid? I've heard of him. I know he's a Montague. You're going to leave him alone at my party. You're not going to cause a big scene. I've heard that he is virtuous and he's got good manners in town. And we're going to let him have a good time at our party tonight. Calm down, Tybalt. Tybalt is Capulet's nephew. Tybalt, it fits when such a villain is a guest. I'll not endure him. Capulet, he shall be endured. What, good man, boy? I say he shall go. Go to. I am the master here, or you? Go to. You'll not endure him. God shall mend my soul. You'll make a mutiny among my guests. You will set cock-a-hoop. You'll be the man. So Capulet's like, who's in charge here? This is my house. You're going to follow my rules. If you start to fight with him, you're going to make a mutiny of the guests that's going to cause this whole scene. No. Calm down, Tybalt. Tybalt, why, uncle, 'tis a shame. Capulet, go to. Go to. You are a saucy boy. Is it so indeed? This trick may chance to scathe you. I know that. You must contrary me. Marry, 'tis time. Well said, my hearts. You are a princecock. Go. Be quiet. Or more light, for shame. I'll make you quiet. What, cheerly, my hearts? Tybalt, patience perforce with willful choler meeting makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall now seeming sweet covert to bitter gall. So Tybalt's like, I'll leave him alone tonight, but I will not forget this. He exits. So now it's back to Romeo, who has now found Juliet on the dance floor. Romeo to Juliet, if I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle fine is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. So he is flirting very hard with Juliet. He's saying, my hand is unworthy to touch you. You are a holy shrine. My lips are two blushing pilgrims, like religious pilgrims, ready to stand smooth a rough touch. He wants to kiss Juliet. So he is like flirting hard with her. Juliet says, good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss. So she is flirting right back with him, and she is saying, so pilgrims have hands too, and when their hand palm to palm is the holy way for a kiss to happen. Romeo, have not saints lips and holy palmers too? Yeah, but don't saints have lips too? Romeo says. Juliet, I, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer. Romeo, oh, Then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray grant you, lest faithful turn to despair. Juliet, saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake. Romeo, then move not, while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips by yours my sin is purged. So he is still trying to convince her to kiss him, and she's being very coy, and she's not giving into it until he says that. Juliet, then have my lips the sin that they have took. Romeo, sin from thy lips? O trespass sweetly urged. Give me my sin again. Juliet, you kiss by the book. So they've just met, they've been flirting, and now they're kissing. Nurse comes in. Madam, your mother craves a word with you. Romeo, what is her mother? So he's talking to the nurse. Nurse, Mary Bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous. I nursed her daughter, that you talked withal. I tell you, he that can hold of her shall have the chinks. So she's like, the girl that you have just been dancing with is the daughter of the people that own this house. She's a Capulet. And whoever lands her is going to get a lot of money. Back in those days, when a woman was married, there would have been something called a dowry. Sorry, I had a minor brain fart. And the woman's family would have given money to the man and the man's family. And that was that. So it was, these arranged marriages were not only political deals, they were also often financial in nature as well. So after Romeo realizes this, Romeo says, she is a Capulet? Oh, dear Count, my life is my foe's debt. Benvolio, away, begone, the sport is at the best. Romeo, aye, so I fear, the more is my unrest. So he's really shaken by the fact that, crap, Juliet's a Capulet. Capulet, nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. Is it even so? Why then I thank you all. I thank you, honest gentlemen. Good night. More torches here. Come on then, let's to bed. Ah, sirrah, by my fay, it waxes late. I'll to my rest. Okay, so everyone is likely to have been partying, okay, which would have involved alcohol as well at the time. Capulet has had a great night, and it's time for everybody to go. And he's like, oh, is it even time for everybody to go? Okay, fine. See you guys later. I'm going to go to bed. Juliet. Everyone exits except Juliet and the nurse. Okay, so Juliet is there with the nurse. She says, come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman? Nurse says, the son and heir of old Tiberio. Juliet, what's he that now is going out of door? Nurse, Mary, that I think be young Petruchio. Juliet, what's he that follows there that would not dance? Nurse, I know not. Juliet, go ask his name. If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed. Okay, so Juliet's trying to be coy, and she's not trying to, she doesn't know Romeo's name. They haven't even given each other their names yet. They were flirting, they kissed. They both think that they're in love with each other. They're in love with each other. So she's trying to be coy with the nurse, and she's like, what's that guy's name? What's that guy's name? And finally she points at Romeo, and she's like, who is that? And the nurse is like, oh, I don't know him. Probably because he's a Montague. And Juliet's, go ask him his name. If he's married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed. She's like, if he's married, I'm gonna kill myself. The nurse goes and does that, and she comes back. Nurse says, his name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy. Juliet, my only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy. Nurse, what's this? Juliet, a rhyme I learned even now of one I danced withal. One calls within, Juliet! Nurse, anon, come, let's away, the strangers are all gone. Okay, So Juliet is going, and she's like, oh my goodness gracious. And she has this little poem that she says about Romeo, and the nurse is like, what are you talking about? And Juliet's like, oh, it's just some poem some guy told me when we were dancing. It's nothing. It's fine. So then somebody is calling for Juliet, and the nurse is like, come on, we gotta go.